Hello students, through this PPT we are going to cover the topic of rural development. So in a easy language, developing a village area both economically as well as socially is known as rural development. It includes development of infrastructure, human capital formation, development of all the resources to elevate the poverty or the removal of poverty and various land reforms which could benefit all the section of society. For the village area, credit is very much required for all the activities. So here rural credit is divided into three parts. First one is short term credit, which is generally taken for 6 to 12 months for the activities like purchasing of seeds, fertilizers, etc. Then medium term credit. This type of credit are taken by people for the period of 12 months to 5 years for their works such as constructing fences, digging wells and other works. Then we have long term credit. These are taken by the farmers or village people for the term of between 5 to 20 years, and with this they can accomplish the work of purchasing additional land and acquiring of other assets. Now to take the credit, there are two main sources. First one is non-institutional sources and second is institutionals. So earlier students, non-institutional sources were more followed because there were no institutions for them. So they usually used to take credit from zamindars, their relatives or any other landowners. Okay, so they used to take or charge very high interest rate from the farmers, and due to this farmers were unable to pay back the credit. To solve this problem, institutional sources have been developed by the government. Under this, there are various institutions formed which provide credit to the farmers and rural area people in low interest rate. Some of the institutions are cooperative credit societies, State Bank of India, RRBs, that is Regional Rural Bank, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. One thing you need to know is that NABARD is same kind of institution like RBI is for India. Okay, so NABARD controls all the rural institution under it. Now we see the agricultural marketing. So it includes all those activities, students, which are done after the production of crops till it reaches the market, like its advertisement or transportation, its packaging, reading, etc. Okay, so this is agricultural marketing. To improve the state of agriculture in India, there are various steps taken by the government. Like they have regulated the market, it means the agriculture market has been regulated by the government. Okay, so rates are decided by them only. Cooperative agricultural marketing societies. So different societies have been formed for the betterment of farmers. Provision of warehousing facilities. In this, different warehouses are formed where farmers can store their crops and supply them whenever it is required. Subsidized transport. In this, various transport facilities are provided at a subsidy rate to the farmers. Informations regarding the crops are given to the farmers, and MSP policy. In this, the minimum support price is decided by the government in which farmers can sell of their production. Now we'll see the topic of diversification of crop production. So it simply means that farmers do not need to depend only on single crops, but as per the weather and season they can follow the system of multi-cropping, which could help them to get employment also. Diversification of production activity. It means that in rural area we see that farmers mainly depend upon the agriculture, but other than this they can also try some other activities which are animal husbandry, fisheries, horticulture. Horticulture here means the production of fruits, vegetables, flowers, etc. And for 1 marks you have to remember that golden revolution was related to horticulture. Then other than that, cottage and household industries. So a simple small kind of work could be done in the house itself. Okay, so this was all about the rural development, agriculture, and what could be the future possibilities. Thank you.